Sup, nerds? I'm Tom.
I'm Wes.
Holy shit, this is good.
Two things before we get started. First off, this is a preview video, which means we are working with, I guess this is a prototype.
It's really good.
It's the best prototype I've ever seen, except for this one dial's upside down. Rules may have some small tweaks to it.
Symbology.
Things, it's not
tweaks.
the final production copy of the game, so, understand that. Second off, our channel is brought to you by GameToppers. That is the tabletop we are filming on here right now. They've got all kinds of cool playmats, accessories. All my playmats are organized on the wall with all kinds of cool stuff from them. You should definitely check them out.
So Honor's End is a cooperative deck-building campaign-style game with multi-use cards and dice. And if any of that sounds interesting, just go to the description, click on the link, back the game right now. You don't even need to hear the rest of it, except... Okay, stay. It's so good. This game doesn't really have anything groundbreaking and new. Like, it's not like a new mechanic. It just takes mechanics that have existed and does them so well.
Yeah.
Just like the new Superman movie. There's no, twist at the end. There's nothing, new and different. It just does superheroes so good. And this does cooperative deck building and multi-use cards so well.
Yeah.
It's just chef's kiss. It's just the really cranky food critic eating the ratatouille at the end. You know what I'm talking about? How many different pop culture references do I need to make?
I don't typically really go for co-op deck builders like that. I love cooperative games. I love deck builders. They're typically not two mediums I like putting together.
Really? You don't like Aeon's End?
I don't know how to respond to that. But like Tom said, this game just comes together into something absolutely gorgeous. Probably one of the uniquer things about it is in how you're actually deck building, because deck building itself is not one of the biggest things you do in the game. In fact, you're not even really gaining resources to buy new cards. You're gaining points to move up on a track, and when you get to certain spots on this, it's really a tech tree more than a track. When you get to certain spots, you gain a new card, and then you draw one more card than everyone at the table, and everyone gets to add another card to their deck. So that's definitely a thing that I haven't really seen a whole lot of.
Yeah,
typically,
you're drafting the cards that you build into your deck. You're not purchasing them.
And you're not even purchasing them, that you're gaining points to unlock a slot so that everybody at the table gets a new one, which does really help the cooperative. The cooperativeness of this game is so good.
It's definitely not multiplayer solitaire, and it's definitely not there. It's really hard for there to be a
alpha gamer.
Yeah, because there's a little bit of hey, these are the cards that I have. This is what I think we should do. But there are some decisions that are ultimately up to whoever the first player is.
Yep.
And you can tell people, hey, do X, Y, and Z, but you doesn't even matter. And also, it's simultaneous turns.
Yep.
So I guess you could call that multiplayer solitaire, but in that portion of your turn where we're all playing simultaneously, I may stop and be like, wait. On your turn, what are you going to do? Because I have this decision that I could make.
Yeah.
Right? And that could matter.
Because all the pools are clumped together. So, you're going up on your damage and the temple tree and the monarch tree. But it's not if I get 3 points and you get 2 points, we collectively have 5 points to spend there. So it's not even I'm getting this to do this thing and you're getting that to do that thing. It's, do I want to make this card, do I want to make this temple or do I want to go monarch? What are you guys going on those? Because
we want to make sure we have enough resources to advance on the track.
And I don't want to have extra over here that we could spend over here.
And they aren't even tracks per se, because they're it's like a tree, because you don't just advance up.
Do you remember earlier when I said it's not really a track, it's like a tech tree? It's really a tech tree more than a track.
It's really a tech tree more than a track.
Did you say that?
I absolutely said
when you
that.
talk, I 100% shut you out.
I understand.
What did you say?
I was saying you move these tracks that not.
That was the joke. This game does give me the feeling in that where every little aspect of design space, they dialed it up a little bit. Again, instead of just having tracks you advance on, they give you multiple paths to choose, instead of just having single-use cards, you have multi-use cards. Instead of just gaining cards from a row that you like a purchase row, there's different types of cards and different stacks, and they don't all even go into your deck. Some of them are special abilities that are on square cards that are over here. There are consumable cards that are one-time use, and they're small, so you don't ever accidentally add them into your deck.
And even like with the dice, so you have your pool of dice that grows as your enemy you're fighting like gets stronger and goes through his levels, and then you could shrink those back down based on different things you can do as well. But so you have your dice pool. So let's say we've got 4 black dice and 3 gray dice. The table looks at those dice and says, all right, who wants to roll which dice? Like,
these are the bad dice. This is the bad guy dice.
Yeah.
I know most of what we talked about so far was about the player experience. There's also, this is what the bad guy does.
Yeah. So I can say, oh, I've got a bunch of shield stuff. So I'll take all 4 of these, the black dice, the worst ones, if you don't mind taking those 3 gray ones. So you'll take those, and then we'll roll them. And now we each get to deal with the dice that are in front of us. But like divvying those up even, it's very cooperative.
It's a very interesting aspect of, because you already have your hand, so you can say, well, I know what I can deal with. But also a lot of the cards, the abilities that you get on the cards is damage that you deal to the bad guy, advancing up on these tech trees. But also, it'll get you good dice. So you have a pool of these purple dice that you could add into your supply, and you can roll them whenever you want on your turn to get additional wild symbols, or to get more shields, or to let you play additional cards.
Or special abilities.
Wait a minute, Tom, you just said play cards. This is a deck building game. Don't you just draw up and then plop all your cards out onto the table like every deck building?
We haven't even gotten to like one of the biggest unique things about how you play this game.
Now, if you've played Moonrakers, you'd actually be familiar with this system a little bit. It's not exactly the same. It's a little bit different. But like where like you play a card and then that allows you to play other cards. So at the start of your turn, so to speak, like when you go to play your first card, you can only play 1 card. Then a card will have a little arrow that lets you play another card, but not every card in your hand is going to have that. So you may be able to play a chain of like 2 or 3 or 4 cards or whatever. Usually like the better cards don't have that little thing, so you have to think about which card you want to play to end your sequence. But then they're multi-use because they all have a little symbol in the bottom corner. There's these basically 3 different animals or 3 different colors, the blue, the brown, or the green, which is the owl, the lion, and the bear, respectively. They all say, hey, I have a little ability here at the bottom. If you can play that symbol, which is usually burning another card, hey, I've got this lion on the bottom of me. I'm talking as the card here. I have a lion on the bottom of me. If you want to burn a lion card from your hand, I'll get this extra little ability. Or if you roll one of your purple dice and get a wild symbol, that can be a lion, and you can put that on here and get the little... Do you like me talking as the card? Because it feels really good.
But then one of those special abilities you can unlock is create a new instance, basically. Yeah. So you have your line of cards, or it's like card with an arrow, card with an arrow, card with an arrow, until you play a card that doesn't have an arrow on it, or you run out of cards, I guess. But then once you've ended that line of cards, you don't have an arrow anymore, you can then create a new sequence and start a new line of cards. And you can hypothetically just keep doing that as long as your symbols line up and you have cards. In fact, it's possible to play your entire deck in one turn doing that if you get enough, draw more cards, and then start new sequences.
Look at this turn. Look at all the cards I got to play. Look at all the dice I literally drew everything in my whole deck. Look, that's my discard pile. That's my deck. Everything. What'd you get to do, buddy? Nothing? Huh? Now, also, this is a campaign-style game. It has... Well, first of all, we're not going to talk about the campaign at all. We want to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. Probably should have said that at the beginning. I don't know. Maybe I'll edit and put that up at the front. But this is also not a specific, like a legacy game or a campaign, like a one and done, which I actually am not a real big fan of campaign games unless they are done in this way. Which also, to be honest, I feel like the industry as a whole, they aren't really doing so many more one and done. Like even like legacy games now are still like, they're still at least trying to have you where you can play it afterwards. So at least that's probably a complaint that I won't ever be able to. This is going to be the last time I'm even going to talk about it because it just won't ever happen. But yeah, this is there's an adventure mode where you can, sort of level up and get more stuff and open up new envelopes and that type of thing. Subnerds cutting in here just because I said that backwards. The story mode is actually the mode where you have like this little story book and you can go through. I think I have like 2 chapters in here, right, as the sample for the prototype. And you have these little envelopes that you open up. But again, you could sort of reseal these. It's the adventure mode is actually the one and done version, but back to it. And then there's a mode where you can just hop right in and just play a singular game. Either way, you're always going to be fighting 3 different bad guys, going from level 1 to level 3, and trying to complete that, fight all 3 of them without losing all of your honor. I can't believe we're like 18 minutes into this and we didn't even say how to win the game.
Yeah. Which I do feel like as you're leveling up with bad guys, they scale really well. Like the first bad guy, you're like, oh, this game's great. I'm getting all this cool stuff. We're crushing him. And then the next level comes out and you're like, oh, this just got way worse. Like, it definitely scales with you because there's so many cool things you can get as you're adding cards to your deck, refining your deck. You get wounds in this game, which are the dead cards, but you just discard another card to get rid. Like, they're really easy to get rid of, which I appreciate.
And they all have arrows on them, which I also appreciate. Yeah. So they're not like dead cards that you can still play them in sequence, right? Which I think adds to how easy they are to get rid of them. Yeah. But they're pretty common, so you're not gonna. It's not like something that like, oh, I got a wound, oh, who cares? Like, you're gonna get a lot of wounds that you're
gonna have to deal with them.
You'll be able to get rid of them easier than wounds in other games. Like I'm thinking specifically like in like Legendary or DC deck building game, or even like when you get points cards in Dominion. Like these are easier to get rid of, but it's still, like you said, something you got to think about. And like the bad guys there's effects that will happen to just another player or to every other player. Oh, and there's also, you can discard cards from your hand that have symbols where you can either affect another player or every other player.
Yeah.
If you walk away from this video with any one thing about this game, is I want you to know how very, very cooperative it is.
Yes.
It is very much about what can I do for my fellow players to help them out so they can have a really good turn, not like everybody give me the thing so I can have a great turn. I mean, and sometimes you may want that. You may be like, no, guys, trust me. If I can be able to do X, Y, and Z, I'll be able to play this card. Just let me draw another card, or give me that dice, because then I'll be able to use this card to shield it and we'll get rid of it completely, or whatever.
But I feel like what adds to that is a lot of times the powerful things on your turn, you're like, oh, hey, I've got a really cool card in my hand. Let me take a bunch of these dice. And if you guys do this, I can deal with these dice. So even in that, it's, I'm going to do this cool thing, but me doing that cool thing means I'm going to take all this bad stuff away from you because the cool thing is like shielding you from it. Like even in that I have a big power turn, it still feels good to everybody. It's not like, oh man, Tom's just running away with the game over here. So guys, if you're a fan of cooperative games, of deck building games, or really just if you're a fan of good games, I can highly recommend you check out Honor's End. There will be a link to the campaign down in the description box.
Also down there is going to be a link for GameToppers, as we said before. They're the sponsor of Neverboard Gaming. But also there's going to be a button that says subscribe. If you subscribe to Neverboard Gaming, then I'll give you $1. Never be bored.
I won't. I don't have $1. I don't have $1.
God. Now, if you've played Moonrakers, is that what it's called? Moon Rollers? No, Moon Rollers is a different one. If you've played Moon Rollers...